yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's got straps, you can pull it.
All right, it is the last day of the month, first day of work, back in town, trying to get back into normal. Figured I'd give you guys a little bit of a channel update, go over some comments. I haven't made a video in a while, haven't had time to make a video in a while. I've done a couple little shorts here and there, but other than that, I haven't really posted. I've been super busy with work. They've had me traveling, and hopefully now things will get back to normal. I wanted to see how I did after taking all this time off, and I haven't really lost any strength. I haven't really lost any weight. I did go through a little bit of a period of sickness while I was on the road, but you know, that's just usual like travel stuff. People get food sickness, you go to a different area, there's all sorts of little critters that are in the air that you don't maybe necessarily have where you live, so the people can be prone to getting infections and colds and all sorts of viruses when you travel. Anytime you're on an airplane, you're basically in a tin can with a bunch of other people and you're subjected to their conditions, so that's just not abnormal for that to happen. I know that the differences in sleep can tank your immune system, something to watch out for, but we did all right. We made it through. I got one of the best certifications that you can get in my profession, so my resume has increased exponentially now. My company was kind enough to do that for me, so I guess that suggests that they maybe want to invest in me and keep me around. And if they decide they don't, I can take that certification with me and bring it to any company I work with. I am now a certified trainer for mobile work platforms, basically boom lifts, scissor lifts, forklifts, telehandlers. I can now train and certify people, so I can issue you a license if you want me to. It's a long, boring class, though, and I'm going to make you do all of the questions. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty boring stuff, but if you are in the construction industry, it's one of those things that it's really valuable to have, and a lot of companies, it makes a person sought after, because generally speaking, anytime you have to pay for that kind of training, it could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a head. Anytime an operator makes a boneheaded move, like gets in an accident or has a near miss, and they require a recertification, a lot of times they have to call companies out to do that, and it can get really expensive really fast. So having a guy like me around who can do it at my own expense, yeah. So in a lot of ways, it's expensive so that they can be cheap, if that makes sense. I do get some updates on my channel, directions moving forward, as well as respond to some comments. I haven't responded to comments in a long time, and I got a couple of doozies, and we'll have some fun with that. All right, so let's get the news out of the way. First, I talked to Tommy, and he is injured, so he will not be participating in the WRPF Nationals this month. Cephas dropped out. I forgot what reasons he cited, but I think it had to do, you know, logistically it's difficult to do these things, so I think it was an imposition for him. Now, I'm not going to compete simply because if neither of them are there. That was the whole point of me competing in this meet to begin with, and with all the political stuff that's going on in the federations, I think I alluded to in earlier videos that there was some shenanigans going on with somebody in that organization creating a new federation and using underhanded methods to do so, where they poach some people. There's some politics going on. I'm just going to stay away from it. Now, they did invite me to compete in November at Worlds and asked if I was going to be there, and that's I don't want to say no, but I don't know if I'm going to do it this year, just because it's in New York. Upstate New York would be lovely to see. I would love to take my family to go. I'll just send the sun right there. I'd love to take my family to go see Buffalo, upstate, or Niagara Falls. That would be awesome. But it's an expensive trip and it's short notice. I do have the time off, so we'll see. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes. As far as my training is concerned, I'm just going to get back into it. And I'm still doing the boxing thing. While I was on this trip away from home, I did put some weight on, so I'm a little heavy right now, which is not conducive to being a pugilist, unless I want to be a heavyweight, get put in a ring with gorillas. So I'm probably going to try to slim down a little bit. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on. I've got a big old giant pile of shame I'm working with my Warhammer figurines. So we'll be doing some of that. And now that it's cooling off, it's time to break out the firearms. We're going to start doing range time again. So I'll have videos on that. That's always a good time. We kind of put a hold on it because it was just so hot this summer that it was, unless you got out there super early in the morning, it just, I don't know, it just wasn't that great of a time to be out there smoking in the heat at 120 degrees, you know what I mean? But now that it's cooling off, it's definitely time to start hitting the high desert again. Bring the dogs out, maybe do a little camping. Good times. This is the perfect time of year. And then, of course, we got Halloween coming up. We have our costumes ready. And as a family, we all like to do cosplay. So we're going to start doing that kind of stuff. So lots of fun things coming up. It's time to respond to some comments. I haven't talked to anybody in a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I've made a long-form video. So I thought it might be entertaining to, pick a few comments out and go over them. I get a lot of negative stuff for my style, the way I present myself, things that I do. Everything from, you get the comments, there was one where the guy said I sounded gassed, must be all the steroids. Forget the fact that I just ran 2 miles and I was talking into my camera and I might have been a little bit winded. And I was like, steroid? Like, how would steroids affect your, do steroids cause you to get gas out? I don't know. But stupid shit like that. The other one was, I made a video review of my VR60 tactical shotgun. And in that video, I had painted nails, and I got a bunch of comments on that. To this day, I still get those. And it was kind of wondering, like, where are all my punk rockers at? SLC punk, baby. I guess that would be the best way to describe the style I adhered to growing up as a kid. I was looking at my playlist to give a rough idea of like the kind of music I like to listen to, and I thought you guys might be interested in like what does this old cat listen to? And on my playlist, I've got Bad Religion, The Descendants, Black Flag, The Vandals, Bad Brains, Buzzcocks, 7 Seconds, Gorilla Biscuits, The Ramones, Social Distortion, Dead Kennedys, The Damned, Circle Jerks, No Effects, Anti-Flag, Suicidal Tendencies, Green Day, Misfits, Fugazi, Agent Orange, The Offspring, Guttermouth, Dag Nasty, Sex Pistols. Who else we got here? Sublime. I got No Doubt on there too. This is when I started maybe getting into like the grunge stuff. You got Bouncing Soul, The Replacements, The Exploited, The Jam, Van Halen, Dancehall Crashers, The Addicts, Doughboys, The Cramps, Pennywise, Jawbreaker, Naked Raygun, Angry Simones, Anti-Nowhere League, GBH, Rich Kids on LSD, Suey and the Banshees, baby, The Germs, and then we got our we got our hair metal. We got like Poison and Motley Crue and AC/DC, Van Halen, Def Leppard, Aerosmith. I'm not really super huge into that stuff, but I love Van Halen and Rush just because I think Eddie Van Halen is one of the best guitar players that's ever lived. And then Rush, you have Neil Peart, the drummer. If I was going to pick a band just based on technical ability, nothing else, whether you like the music or not, just their ability to play, I'm going with Tool. Best drummer that's ever lived. Just the way they... or Primus. Tool or Primus, believe it or not. Les Claypool on the bass, and the way his drummer just weaves in and out of the way he plays his bass is like the main instrument or tool. What's his name? What is his name from Tool? Well, I got a computer here. What is Tool's drummer's name? I can't think of it. Dana Carey. Duh. Dana Carey, American musician and songwriter. And what sets him apart in his ability to play drums is his use of poly beats. So beats within beats. He'll have like 3 poly beats going on at the same time, and he's almost like I don't know, he's like a touring computer, the way he plays. He's got one beat going and one that's, poly beats. I don't know. I can't describe it other than like he's literally got 2 separate beats going on at the same time, and they marry up every 4th, which is a 3rd poly beat. And it's just amazing. And as a guy that can barely play, I can keep up with most songs. We start jamming out, I can keep up, I can keep a basic beat, I can do some change ups. I'm okay. I can't even comprehend how he does it. I listen to him play the drums and it just blows me away. And then of course, the late Neil Peart. Unfortunately, he passed away of cancer. One of the greatest drummers that's ever lived. And I got a big thing for guitarists, and it doesn't have any era of music. Eddie Van Halen, Jimi Hendrix, all your old blues guitarists. Who was that guy that died at Alpine Valley in 1992? She's my sweet little thing. She's my pride and joy. What is that guy's name? God damn it. On the tip of my tongue. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah. So, that's where this comes from. Punk rock. Man, when I go out, I got my hair. I got like some kind of rip sleeve shirt with the collar popped. I got my skulls on my fingers. Got my earrings. I got my big black boots. I got my tight jeans that are ripped. Sometimes with suspenders, sometimes not. My wife's got her boots that go up to her thighs, a little mini skirt. And it's like, we are getting a little old for that, and we've toned it down a little. Now she's a little more sundress with, sunflowers. And but there's little pieces of flair that, like, harken to it. You know what I mean? Even if I'm wearing a suit with cufflinks and, if I got to dress up to go to, like a serious business meeting or a funeral or something. Think of somewhere else where it'd be a strict dress code in force. There's still going to be something that when you look at it and you go, yeah, that guy's a punk, you know what I mean? Or you can tell like she was a skater chick, like that was her thing. She wore like a little skull cap with the Iron Cross on it, and she had like the big baggy jeans. So I'm 4 years older than her, so where punk was kind of maybe, I don't want to say dying down, but losing its popularity. And then, you had grunge that was coming up. She was more into the grunge music. But, like we meet there in the middle and we make it work out. So, first comment. I got PJFUS Coon, the News, 1693. And he asked, what's with the fingernail polish? And he didn't really say anything bad. I mean, because I said, what's the issue? And he just said, oh, nothing, I guess. Yeah, it's nothing. And then he leaves like a crying happy, like okay, how do I explain this? If I put clothes on and they look a little weird, right? I know what I'm wearing. So why do you think I'd be embarrassed by it? You're like, I don't like your clothes, they're stupid. Okay. Like, I know what I look like. I dressed myself. Like if somebody dressed me and I went out and then you told me it looked bad, it's awful, then I'd be like, oh man, I shouldn't listen to that person. And I probably feel self-conscious about it and I want to go home and change. But I picked my clothes out. I know what I look like. You're like, I'm the one who did my hair. I'm aware of the color of it. It's like, but no, his is not the his comment is not the one I have It's Peter Fusco 8461 says, to each his own, but I wouldn't follow you into battle. Who says I'd let you? Look, man, I'm a Marine. We train. We know what we're doing. You have to prove yourself. You don't just get to follow me into battle. There's no way I'm just going to have some armed idiot walking around. You're a liability. You need to prove to me you know what you're doing. And until I see that proof, it's all talk. You know what I mean? I've got receipts. You know, people are like, you could tell me you're stronger than me, but I've yet to see someone show me. You can tell me you can do all this stuff better than me, but I've yet to see someone who can show me. And you can tell me you're a better boxer than me, but I have yet to see someone show up and challenge. Like, the ring's open. People come to Vegas all the time. It's open invitation. Everybody talks about how they're better and all this stuff, but nobody has receipts. Nobody's got videos. You know what I mean? Like, show me. Don't tell me. Show me. Because, you know what? For every guy that tells me how they used to bench 500 pounds, but they don't bench anymore because their shoulders are blown out, I can still do it. I can still bench 400 pounds, and I'm 50 years old, and there's nothing wrong with my shoulders. All I'm saying is I still do this stuff. You guys just talk. So you want to follow me into battle, I need to see that you know how to follow someone in the battle to begin with. I mean, if most of the people that talk and get on these forums and, like discuss things, especially when it comes to like weapons, tactics, that kind of thing, I would say a good 80% of them got their training from Call of Duty. And while, look, games are getting really realistic and graphics are pretty awesome, it's not the same thing. There's levels to this stuff, guys. All right, this next comment's a little more serious. It's, in the video I made where I go over my diastasis recti diagnosis, that's the split in the abs, I got a comment from Leo1191, and he writes, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm 55 years old. I don't wear a belt. I got nice chest, arms, shoulders, but I look like I swallowed a cake pan, and my gut sticks out both top and bottom. I thought I must be getting fat. Now I'm thinking my abs are splitting too. Yeah, there's an easy way to tell. When you tighten your abs up as hard as you can, if you get a little bit of a bulge, this little split right here, that's a good indication that you have a stretched ab wall. Now, that's not the same as a hernia, where your gut's just coming out. There's still, what's the material that holds your muscles together? It's not like ligament and tendon, but it's like that woven part that stretches out that holds the ab wall together. That's being stretched, but it's still there, meaning your stuff's not spilling out. Because if you have an actual split in your ab wall where the only thing that's holding your guts in is your skin, that is a life-threatening condition. And that's but either way, you would definitely want to go to a doctor, get it checked out. They'll do a CT scan, they'll do an MRI, they'll do all that. And then they'll determine a course of action. Now, for me to fix that, it's going to be like a tummy tuck. They basically cut it, sew it together. But my doctor told me to wait until I'm done lifting because it's going to put me out. And it's not life-threatening as long as I wear a belt and I'm careful about it. It shouldn't get any worse, and it's something you go on a monitor. I basically wrote that. I wrote it definitely would get checked. As it turns out, I have more than one thing going on that is common to guys our age. I have food insensitivity that causes extreme bloating, so I blow up like a pufferfish. If I fast, I have no gut and I'm ripped. You guys seen it. When I fast, I can with Jesus abs. But if I eat the wrong thing, I blow up like I'm pregnant. And no one wants to argue with me. He writes, no, being real, you work out, wonder why the belly's still hanging out there, and the real answer is you have poor core. You lift heavy so your abs try to stabilize and separate. The answer may be to do specific exercises and wear a damn weightlifting belt. We sorry about our backs. We also need to worry about protecting your abs. Okay, you see the look on my face? You don't think I've known about this situation for, how old is this video that you're commenting on? For the better part of a year. You don't think I train with a belt? You don't think I've stabilized my core and do core exercises? You can't squat over 3 times your body weight with a poor core. It's impossible. You wouldn't be able to stand erect. You can't deadlift 4 times your body weight and not engage your core. It just doesn't work that way. There's nothing wrong with your core strength. The core is all around you. You can't stabilize heavy squats with weak abs. It's physically impossible. You would just crumple. And yes, you can have 2 things going on at the same time. I can have a split in my ab wall, which would make my gut stick out, and I can be food insensitive, which is not unusual for somebody over 50. And it might be worth getting checked out so you could figure out what the actual cause is. So I appreciate your diagnosis, but I think I'll stick to my doctors. That being said, for real, all kidding aside, no, seriously, like, you can have more than one thing going on. There's a lot of people that have more than one condition going on, and they'll get treated for one and wonder why they're still having issues because they haven't holistically treated themselves. They're just treating the symptoms. So if I did get my stomach sewed up and I did tighten those abs up, I would still suffer from bloating because I still have a food sensitivity. And if I treat my food sensitivity to where I don't get bloating, which I'm actually starting to be able to manage very well now, I might not get my ab wall separation fixed because my gut won't stick out, so it's maybe not as much of an issue. It's just a cosmetic thing. That's a mistake too. So what I'm saying is like, go to a doctor, get a proper diagnosis, and find out why your gut sticks out. If you're in the shape that you say you are, and you're doing full body workouts, you're going to have a strong core. Look, guys, this is the truth. If you do mostly barbell complexes, you're going to have a strong core. You have no choice but to engage your core. If you're doing barbell squats 2 times a week for 10 years and you're going 50% to 95% of your 1 rep max regularly, you are going to have a strong core. You can't. It just doesn't work that way. If you do feel the need to do core specific exercises like sit-ups and planks and stuff like that, absolutely. We do them a lot for boxing. But here's the thing, it's like at a certain point, sit-ups, because you're only pushing your body weight, is not really going to keep up with the taxation that squatting 600 pounds is going to put on your body. So at a certain point, you would have to do so many sit-ups in order to strengthen your core that it would become untenable, and you might even have to incorporate using a weight, like holding a plate while you're doing them. And then it just comes down to, well, what exercise selection do you enjoy? I don't particularly like doing sit-ups. I like crunches though, so find what works for you. But again, I'll say it one more time. I'll beat that dead horse. 2 things can be true at the same time, and if you're doing standing barbell complexes regularly, you're going to have a strong core. Period. You have to. You can't stand upright with a bunch of weight and not activate your core muscles. It's just not possible. Louis Duarte 7436 writes, all that gear gassing you out mid-sentence, buddy. Oh, all that gear. What gear am I on, Louis? Since you know so much, maybe you could tell me. As well as bomb-proof and strengthen your tibialis with a kettlebell and a treadmill. Yeah, I made a short video where I was speaking into the camera and I was a little bit winded. Maybe because I was working on a fucking treadmill with a kettlebell. I think, what did I run 2 miles? And then I walked like a mile backwards with that kettlebell to work the tibialis. And then I was doing a bunch of... Dude, I was working. I'm in the middle of a workout. 50 years old. What do you want from me? Now, I've heard this before. Drugs like trenbolone can affect your cardio. I don't think the stuff I'm on would do that, like testosterone and DBH, and it does it's real mild stuff with low side effects. I don't really feel like it affects my cardio at all. I can do 2 solid rounds in boxing before I start getting winded, and I can get through 3 rounds, and that's getting better as I've been training. I'm getting better at that. So I'm already doing a ton of cardio. Now I do have a deviated septum, and air quality can be an issue sometimes, and I get the from being on construction sites. But no, I don't. I get these comments like, you guys watch my videos, and I guess you guys think that I do a ton of steroids, and that's like how I got like this. And I would say it helps. It definitely contributes for sure. But again, if you look back at my earlier videos where I was 100% natural, I'm about the same body weight. And while I'm not as strong as I am now, I was still pretty strong. I was between 14 and 1,500 pound total at a body weight of 198 at the age of 44, which was good enough for the national records in the USPA. But no, it's all steroids. I was trying to think on it. Why do the steroid comments bother me so much? It's because I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm not taking them. And I do go on certain things when I'm getting ready for a competition. And I'm on certain things when I'm not. And I'm just training regularly. I think what it is, it's how presumptuous they are. Nobody ever asks me, like, hey, what are you taking? How long have you been taking it? How much have you been taking? They just make generalizations. Oh, all that gear you're on. All what gear? What compounds? Like, are they just? I think what it is, it's like dismissive of the hard work. Like I train harder than pretty much anybody I know. I don't personally know a single human that trains harder than me. Before my internet buddies come at me and say, "Oh, I train harder than you, bro." No, you guys online here, the ones that we talk to regularly, you guys are monsters. You guys have the illness like me. You guys train like I do. But I have personally not met anybody in my day-to-day travels or real life, nobody I work with, nobody I go to the gym with, nobody in my family, nobody that I served in the military with. Nobody trains as hard or as frequently as I do. And even to you guys online, I would say I probably have a tendency to do more volume than the average. I don't know. Like Philip, you train hard. Richard, you train hard. Like Tommy, you train. Like, oh, you guys are animals. So I couldn't say I train more than you guys. But you guys get it. You get what I'm saying. You are like me. You train your butts off. You're in the gym 5-6 days a week. When you don't have to be. It's hard for you to do deload weeks. You've got mental illnesses, and lifting weights helps with it. It helps calm us. It's our meditation. It's where we find solace. It's how we get rid of stress, and we enjoy doing it. We happen to love it. So it's like, yeah, you want to be in the gym. That's where we're at. And then you decide at the age of 45, I want to keep doing the sport that I love. So yeah, I went on some stuff, and it's been helping, and I love it. It's changed the quality of my life, mostly for the good. It's a little bit of bad. There are some side effects. Nothing is danger-free. I try to be very cautious and measured with what I take. And considering the longevity, and I have kids, and I want to be around for them. But I also don't want to give up my dreams and what I love to do. So yeah, I'm willing to take a measured risk. But then you do that, and then the second you're open and honest about it, you get all these people that probably don't even work out, leaving crappy comments. And, the number one thing they say is like, well, if you let comments get to you, that's something's wrong with you. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with me. I do let comments like that bother me sometimes. Most of the time, it's like, yeah, whatever. I can, but sometimes it just like gets under your fingernail. You're just like, God, fucking, I don't know. I don't have to say. But here's the thing. I'm open and honest about it, and I love to talk about it, and I would tell you guys if you asked me. Nobody ever asks. They tell me what I do. They tell me what I believe. They tell me what I'm into. They tell me all sorts of stuff that I didn't know about myself. Apparently, you got all that from a 60-second video. You know, I'm like, I'll be doing squats, and the guys are like, well, make sure you do this lift too. And I'm like, why would you assume I don't? You think that like a 60-second video of me training is the entirety of my workout? You know, stuff like that. You know, people are just super presumptuous online. You know, nobody ever asks, though. You can just ask. Ask me. Last but not least, we got Runner Boy. Runner Boy says he got a heavy bag. Okay, where are the videos? I want to see it. Show me. I'm excited. That's cool, man. And you got a heavy bag. I'm clicking on your profile here. No, I don't see no videos. Post some videos, man. Look, you're probably better than me, but we both can. We both know that when I first started boxing, I was awful. I'm going back and watching those videos. Kind of cringy. Even I go, ew. But it shows the process. That's why I've been taking them down. I feel like it's more use to somebody my age trying to get into shape to see me be really bad at something and then get better at it. So that's why I keep those videos up. So if it's something like you don't like, if you're worried about what people are gonna comment or say, people are gonna say crappy crap to you, but they do anyways. But it's not for them. It's for the people like me who are interested and actually give a crap. So hopefully you'll post some videos. That's really cool. On that note, this video is starting to get a little long in the tooth, and I have got to get my butt to work. So, first day back. Tomorrow's the 1st. We start a new training cycle. We're starting a new job phase. We're starting new everything. I'm back in town. All that stuff's behind me. This is like a nice clean break moving forward. Future's wide open, baby. I will see you on the battlefield.